Emem, are you not embarrassed? What is this? Why? Why you have this man embarrassing like this in front of the whole TV and experts? Even a catchy had to walk away. Let's talk about this. Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative. Coming at you with the Mad at First Sight Reunion Part 2 review. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you so much for rocking with us. Let's talk about this foolishness real quick. So, the main thing that ticked me off, that made me not believe my eyes, was how Brandon was acting. But let's just go into what happened that stood out to me this reunion part 2. So you see David and Michelle first still getting the hot seat treatment. And shout out to Kevin Frazier for keeping his foot on David's lying neck. Because he's like, listen, tell me if y'all were together by the time you sent that text message. And then David finally gets worn down a little bit. And he admits that by the time he had sent the I want to eat you up text message, him and Madison had already spent 2 nights together alone. One when she had made an excuse to Alan, and another time when it was him and Madison's cousin watching football. You could tell that he's still lying and playing things down because his story keeps changing all the time. So I just tuned out because I never really expected to hear the truth from David. I had a little hope that we might get the truth from Madison. But again, the producers proved her to be a liar last episode when they played that clip of her running down on Michelle and denying everything. So then you see Kevin also hold Michelle's feet to the fire by basically asking her if she used the cheating as fuel to the fire of hate that she already had for David. And she basically had already started destroying relationships. So he was asking if, she used the cheating as an excuse to just further destroy any chance that David had. And she admitted that she was acting up. Next segment, Carla and Juan. And we basically find out that Carla was not feeling Juan from since the honeymoon. And they show a clip of Carla kind of being emotionally withdrawn from Juan as he did some kind of Karate Kid cosplay. And the negative vibe between them wasn't shown as much during the season. But now after filming, the war is full on, as Juan is now accusing Carla and her family of using mafia tactics against him. And then Juan was talking about how Carla and him signed NDAs to not share the real mess that they found out about one another during the season that turned each other off. So who knows what they really got going on. But again, Juan's toxic positivity, his fake niceness, and like everything go with the flow really caught up to him now, because now he has everything to say about Carla. But during the season, though, he's like, oh, love and light. And then when anybody else got upset about their relationship, like Alan and even the catching Aaron, he's like, no, be nice. Now you ain't got nothing nice to say either. And you look like a liar because you're sitting there acting like everything was peaches and cream. We knew you didn't like Carla, but again, y'all had way more problems than you let on, and y'all need to just stop trying to tell us about now, because the people don't care. I'm tired, and I hope y'all beef ends, because y'all ended the season with so much respect and friendly vibes on camera that it's a shame to see it all going just to hell, basically, the way it did now. So I really am sad that, they're fighting like this down to social media. But again, Juan was always hiding how he really felt. And I guess Carla was not feeling it from Jump Street. And they're really giving each other the blues now. So next you see the men and Kevin hanging out. And they start giving each other superlatives like who's the best dressed, which majority of the votes went to Akechi. And they also say things like, who gives the best advice. And for that category, the majority of votes went to Thomas. And Thomas carried that scene to me because he said he felt like he gained brothers from the show. And I love his energy. And really, Thomas and Camila are the safe. Okay, so now that the season's done, we know that Thomas and Alan are the best guys, hands down. And I do feel that Alan did shade David and Madison a little bit by talking about his honesty and not feeling need to lie when they gave him, who's the open book award. And next segment, you see Dr. P and the experts come out, and Dr. P is with child, so congrats to her and her miracle baby. So Michelle and Alan talk to the experts first, and after they compliment Alan and whatnot, they talk about how Alan only needs superficial changes, like getting the Invisalign, but he never changed his core self, and he will never change his core self. And then they asked they asked Michelle when she knew that David and Madison was creeping, and she said the text. And then Michelle asked the experts if they had first paired David and Madison and then switched her in at the last minute, and they said absolutely not. And I believe them because Madison has said she only wanted white people only when it came to her husband. So then they have the experts talk to Akechi and Emem, and this is where the foolishness starts. Akechi lies and says that he felt like Emem didn't want to know him and didn't have his back, even though she went over backwards for him. And he also said he hated being around her. And Dr. P said she was confused, and then he admitted that maybe he didn't want anything from her, and that's why he didn't get anything from her, and everyone thanked him for being honest. So Pastor Cal asked Akechi to stop being in his feelings in the future and stand on business with his principles, because marriage is not about feelings, it's about making a commitment. Which is true, because life goes up and down. If you had to like your partner every day, that's different than loving your partner every day and choosing to commit, you know? And Pastor Cal was asking Ketchy to stick with the commitment and like the love decision more, which he needs to do. And then they asked Brandon to come out while Ketchy was there, and then Ketchy leaves, which was good because this is when everything went to just the foolishness land. And Brandon gets brought out, and he tried to shake Akechi's hand, and Akechi curved him, rightfully so, because they're not friends. And then Brandon starts going off about how he won the bet, and the experts are not impressed. They're like, what bet? And he said he knew that Akechi wouldn't be man enough to shake his hand. When it comes to Brandon, none of the experts are impressed by him. And Dr. Pepper's the realist right away, who asks MM directly, what is the reason for this, MM? And she basically says the reason is love, and it was love at first sight. Then we find out the real tea that our sister, MM, has been basically taken to Pound Town and trapped by Brandon. We find out that, like, basically the first night, Brandon took her down, and he even mimed a hand gesture of cheeks clapping, and I was disgusted. And he brags about their pillow talk the morning after. And to put the cherry on the love bomb cake, we find out that he got MM pregnant. And unfortunately, MM miscarried. So MM is just all over the place between the oxytocin bonding and the high of getting pregnant and the low of losing the baby. She has no bearings on her emotions right now. So that's why this whirlwind love has carried her away, because she's been through a lot in like the year she's known Brandon. And then Brandon asked Pastor Cal to marry them on air, and Pastor Cal also curves Brandon like a catchy and tells him that they need to talk, and he needs to see what's going on around Emem and Brandon's house before he marries them. And I love Pastor Cal for that, but he does vow, to talk to them once the dust settles. And actually, them two might get married because they've been together a year now. Then David and Madison come out to the experts, and David already starts with the smoke and mirrors and outright tell the experts he don't feel like getting into no timelines with them, so don't ask. And Dr. Pia says, okay, you do what you want to, but I'm going to ask Madison, when did you decide to risk it all for this foolishness? And Madison says she wanted to risk it all for David the first time he broke down crying about his marriage in front of her, which again was probably the honeymoon because Michelle treated him like an animal, and he said he had called his family, breaking down about it that week too. So I'm convinced that they start treating it the honeymoon. And Dr. P and the experts basically tell him to be more honest in the future and slow down. And Dr. Pepper, the realist again, tells them that life and karma gonna come for them soon, so hold on to that good feeling for now. Then the reunion is just a nothing burger after that. They do a bunch of fluff segments, like one about Alan's dog Luffy, and another one about like the good times from the honeymoon. But basically, the last episode left is another Where Are They Now? And it looks like it's gonna be a full with MM and Akechi and the divorce and Brandon. So I'm gonna watch, say how you felt about this reunion, and know that I'll catch you for the last episode next week. And remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.